What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Let's Buck with Ben. This is episode 8. My name is Ben Cornett, and today we're going to preview the Bucks and Saints, which is going to be starting in about 45 minutes. Um, First off, how's everybody doing this morning or out on the East Coast this afternoon? I'm doing pretty good. Had a long week, but I'm here now. Um, Talk about Bucks football. Before we do that, though, I want to just let you know that you can follow me on X at BennyBoy702. And also, you're going to be watching this show on my YouTube channel at BenCornett9015. So, like, subscribe, and share. So, anyway, let's get back to it. It's a big game today, division game against the New Orleans Saints. You know how these games are, especially against a team like the Saints, who we've had some, last year we swept them, but before that, we've had some tough losses to them. They just know us so well. But before we get into that, we will preview real quick last week's games. You know, the Bucks and Eagles Monday Night Football. It was a tough game, tough loss for the Bucks. Obviously, you're going up against the defending NFC champions, and this year so far, Philly looks maybe just as good. My takeaways from this game, and we'll just go over this real quick because that was last Monday, and we're gonna preview the Bucks Saints, but they're just a better team. The Eagles they're a better team. They dominated the trenches, as we like to say. Also, they dominated the time of possession. The Eagles rushed for over 200 yards. The Bucks, meanwhile, only rushed for 41 yards. So that's just a huge discrepancy in the running game. Again, we got a couple turnovers. Jalen Hurts threw 2 picks, so that's a positive. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do anything with that, especially the one pick where Devin White was able to get Jalen Hurts. And then a few plays later, the other White, Rashad White, gets the ball knocked out, fumbles it. Eagles score off that. So it was one of those games where Eagles just made more plays than the Bucks did, even though the Bucks created 2 turnovers, which is great. Again, that brings us to 7 turnovers this year in 3 games. Normally, when you win the turnover battle, usually win games, but in this case, we didn't. Mayfield had a turnover, an interception. Again, Rashad White with a fumble that turned into a turnover. So it was a tough night for the team. Again, we faced a very good team. And when you play a team like Philly, who's pretty much good in every aspect of the game, offense, defense, offensive line, defensive line, although I think the Bucks have better receiving corps, you almost have to play a perfect game. You have to play mistake-free. And unfortunately, the Bucks did not play mistake-free football, and it cost them. But again, on the positive side, we forced 2 turnovers. We held the Eagles to 25 points. An offense like that, that's usually pretty good, that can score over 30 points a game. Holding them to 25 points is not that bad if you really think about it. But again, when you only score 11, then you're not winning the game. So to win the game, you got to score more than the other. Duh. But I'm just looking at the positives from that, is that we held a very good offense to 25 points. So with that being said, this does take me into the next subject here in the Bucks and Saints. Again, this is a team that, on paper, I said that on paper, is a high-scoring offense, but they haven't shown that. So there it is right there. That is the matchup. The Buccaneers go to New Orleans today to face the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans, division game. It is a short week for the Bucks, playing Monday night. The injury list, obviously, I just saw Jamel Dean is out for this game. I don't think that's a surprise considering he was had to leave the game twice on Monday night. It ended up being a shoulder injury, and unfortunately, he didn't practice this week, so he's going to be out. But his partner in crime, Carlton Davis, did practice this week. He is going to be playing today, which, it's a good news, bad news scenario. Good news is Carlton Davis is back. Bad news, Jamel Dean's out. So that helps a little bit, but in a game like this, you would love to have both of your starters playing, especially when you got Chris Olave and Michael Thomas on the other side. You want to have those guys covered. But, Christian Isian, Zion McCollum, Isian's capable. He's a safety, but he is capable of making plays in the defensive backfield. McCollum, he has an interception this year. So there are times where he can make the plays, but there are some times where he gets beat in coverage. So it's going to be a challenge. But the front seven for the Bucs have to step up and put pressure on. Actually, it's going to be Derek Carr. Now, reports this week thought, well, it's probably going to be Jameis Winston, but it's not. Derek Carr was cleared to play, so he is going to give it a go. If I'm the Bucs, I mean, not to sound dirty, but you got to go after Derek Carr. You got to go after him, pressure him, test that shoulder. And we got guys that are capable of doing that. Vita Vea, Logan Hall's been playing good, so that front of the interior defense can get to the quarterback. The offensive line for New Orleans, they're going to be without one of their starters, Cesar Ruiz. He's the guard for the Saints. He's going to be out, so they're going to be starting another guy in there. One of their backups. I think the Saints have another backup that's out, so it's very important for this defense to really get pressure on Derek Carr today. Make his life miserable in the pocket. Again, Derek Carr's going to have that shoulder issue. I know he's not 100%, and if the Bucs can put pressure on him all day, make him uncomfortable, make him throw passes he doesn't want to throw, make him throw when he doesn't want to throw. This is a winnable game for the Bucs. So, however, I will say that the Saints do get Alvin Kamara back from his suspension, so they do have an upgrade at running back. Jamal Williams played decent so far, but now you got Mr. Kamara back and Williams. It's going to be a test for this Bucs defense. Last week they gave up over 200 yards rushing. I'm sure they want to, redeem themselves this week. The good and bad for Alvin Kamara. The good thing is, he's fresh. He hasn't played yet. Bad news is he hasn't played yet. So he's got to get his football feet under him. For the Bucs, they got to stop the rush. If they can hold the Saints, I'd say under 70 yards rushing, I think they can control this game. And let's see. That's what I think. Let's see what our good friend Johnny Dean thinks. Johnny, thanks for coming
I think a lot of things. I think Aiden O'Connell is going to start for the Raiders today. I think Aiden O'Connell, man, come on, Brian Hoyer sitting there, 15-year vet, park his butt for Aiden O'Connell. So I guess preseason did a world of good for that boy.
I guess, yeah, and I don't think it matters. I think he's put in a tough spot. If the Chargers actually play good defense today, good defense.
What did you say?
I know. I'm just saying, when you have over $60 million tied to four guys, they better be playing good defense.
If the Chargers can find some coaching, that might help.
Oh yeah, players have to step up too, though, Johnny. It can't.
But they have to be put in the right position to play right too. You know that. You've seen it over and over and over again. You're a Buck fan. Come on.
Right. Is Derwin playing today? I think he was questionable, right?
I heard that he's out.
Okay. Just wondering. So we're talking about the Bucs Saints preview, Johnny. We gave up over 200 yards last week rushing the ball, and we know Kamara's back. They got Jamal Williams. So now you got a 1-2 punch. But I think if the Bucks run defense can at least hold them under 90 yards, maybe even 80 yards, I think we have a chance here. What do you think?
I'm excited to see my boy Isaac out there, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. He got elevated from the practice squad, by the way.
Yeah.
Kareem Isaac.
I'm hoping that he's going to. I know he hasn't. I think they'll keep the system vanilla enough for him to be able to play.
Yeah.
They're, because with these rookies in there, they're not. Bowles can't throw everything in the kitchen sink out there because they don't have it in their head yet.
Yep.
But dude, as an outside one-on-one corner, Isaac's. He's impressed me, man. I mean, it was preseason, so we can't really judge a whole lot on it.
Mm-hmm.
But he completely shut down. What's his name from Pittsburgh?
Oh, is it Pickens?
Pickens, yeah. He shut Pickens down, man. Pickens changed sides of the field.
Well, that's a positive. Look at that game tape. In the I know, like you said, preseason you can't really tell, but
right.
They're looking at the game tape. Hey, there's some positives there. Again, Isaiah in this, him and Winfield, if they can create some, defensive stops there, try to get a turnover there. I think
my biggest worry on the defense is we don't have enough. Excuse the term, but we don't have enough ass in the middle of the line on defense. Vase fighting a Peck, right?
Yeah, true.
And he don't have Sue there to help him out like they used to. It used to be him and Sue would just dominate,
Yep.
But there's not that other guy there no more, and Vase have to take it all on. You saw last week he was getting triple teamed every down.
Oh so. Yeah, but the Eagles are such a great defensive team anyway. It was going to be tough, but yeah, you're right. I mean, Villa could definitely use that help. Now I know Logan Hall, he's solid, but like you said,
he's more speed. Yeah, and that's what the team is trying to build is speed, but you have to have that anchor, man. You have to have the anchor. That middle has to be anchored. And if you don't get no push, you're just going to get walked over.
Right. And you're going to see those, little short immediate routes. It's going to really hurt the linebackers, they're going to be caught. It's going to be hard for them to tackle in the open field, even though Levante is a very good open field tackler. Devin White, on the other hand, not as good. So, that interior's they got to play hard today, John.
The outside too. I mean, I'm not that worried about Barrett because he's been in that firing line before with the Saints, but I am kind of worried about Tryon Shoyinka. He got showed up last week. He got manhandled.
Oh yeah, every time. Like, he couldn't even move past.
I mean, he's all speed, and he has got those. We saw his moves. He's added to his moves. He's got a little swim move now, and he's got a spin move we saw earlier in the season. I think that was the first or second game they played.
Yeah.
But when you put him up against a monster O-line, man, they're just going to manhandle him.
Well, there is Ruiz is out for the Saints. Cesar Ruiz, they're one of their guards, so that'll help a little bit. The offensive line, with the rookie Trevor Penning, is pretty good, but he does get penalties. So if the Bucks can get in his head a little bit, that can draw some flags. And
this might sound stupid after what happened last week, but I'm more confident with our offensive line today than I was originally thinking when we began the season.
Yeah.
Because I mean the Eagles handled us, but they didn't just manhandle our offensive line like I thought they were going to. I thought they'd just throw us away and just come right through it at will,
No, Baker was still able to make some plays. He still gets some throws off. Mike Evans got a touchdown.
You just can't be sitting back there thinking too much because Cam Jordan and them boys will come at you.
Yeah, that's the thing. But what's on the good side though, you got Tristan Wirfs, who's played very well on the left side so far, and he's going to go one-on-one with
Mock hasn't done too bad.
No, not
either. Hainsey's been
solid.
Okay, solid, yeah.
But better than I expected. I think. But here's the thing, Johnny, and the other thing too is Derek Carr is going to play today.
That makes me feel better.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Winston, you don't know what you get with Winston, and the fact is that Winston does know how our defense plays. He knows what to expect, and he's been pretty damn good against us.
Not bad. You're right.
I mean, if he's got to good percentage against anybody. It's against us.
Mm-hmm.
Carr is still thinking about the playbook.
In a way, yeah. Yeah, and they've not scored what is it, 16 points a game they've averaged? It's not very good. I mean, for that
and
offense.
not with the weapons they have. Now Kamara's back.
Yeah.
And they got Michael Thomas and Olave, so they got weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So if he had that playbook down where he's not thinking about it, I think he'd be more dangerous. I mean, the second game we play him this year will probably be more dangerous.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah. Could be. And, again, I keep saying this, Johnny. Evans needs to keep his head together. He's got that pesky little.
There's going to be a fight. Just stop, man. Just get over it. There's going to be a fight, and it's going to be great. And it makes football better to watch. It actually does.
Okay. As a fan, yes, it does. But when your team needs you, they need Evans today. They need him to perform, him and Godwin. I can't.
Yes, but your whole fucking team will look at you like a dumbass if you take too much shit off a player without retaliating.
I'm not saying. What I'm saying is, just if he's chirping at you, just be physical, but not in a, you get a 15-yard penalty. Just
of course.
Out physical.
I'm just saying that because
that
idiot knows how to push Evans's buttons, and it does lift the team up when he does go off. By the way.
Yeah, and it did last year actually. After that push down, and then Bucks. What was it? I think it was like 3-3 into the fourth quarter, and then Jamel Dean got an interception. Then it, we took it from there. But here's again, he just has to play within himself. Just do what you got to do, Evan, and don't drop the football this week. He had 3 drops last week, Johnny. I expect him to, have a cleaner game.
Drops have been really heavy all across the league this year. I think the only person I haven't seen dropping the ball is Sam. What's his name? Laporta.
Yeah, for the Lions. Yeah. By the way, he's a great tight end, man. What a
man, he's like glue. Oh, and speaking of not dropping, one other person don't drop the ball lately either. Yeah.
You there, Johnny?
I got a call coming in. Hold on.
That's fine. All right. So with that being said, that's Johnny Dean, by the way. He'll be back in a minute. Today he's saying that with Derek Carr, that could actually help, the Bucs defense, because he doesn't know him like Jameis Winston does. I agree to an extent, but again, I still think Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Jameis Winston. So with that being said, the Bucs still have to get some pressure up front. Saints have a depleted offensive line a little bit. Just pressure him, make it uncomfortable for Derek Carr, as much as possible. And I think the Bucs have a chance in this game, but as far as the offense goes, the run game really has to step up today for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You can run on this Saints defense. The Saints do give up a lot of yards.
I'm back.
Okay, Johnny. I was just talking about the Bucs running game has to get going today, Johnny. You can run on this Saints defense.
You can say that all you want to, but we don't have a running game, dude.
I know, but
until the Bucs get off their butt and go find somebody that can give a pounding on the line.
Yeah.
They don't have to be a 5-6 yard carry per carry guy. They have to be a 2 yard in the dirt guy. That's what we need to hurt the defensive line, to make them realize that there's somebody there,
Right, Johnny. We need to at least move the chains, and have that balance on offense. Again, we don't need to be throwing more than.
I've seen enough of it this year that I know they're not going to have a running game this year. They're going to keep running the ball. They will try to keep running the ball. They've been running it over 25 times per game so far.
Right,
but it's not. If it's not effective, it's not effective.
I know, but today they got to find a way for it to be effective. Again, you're playing a very good pass defense in the Saints. You can run on this team. So I'm just saying, get some 2-3 yards.
I get what you're saying, man. It just saying it's got to ain't going to make it. It's not going to make it happen,
I think that's the key for the Bucs to win today, especially scoring some points on this defense. So yeah, they got to do that. I predicted the Saints are going to win this game. It's going to be a very close game. What do you think, Johnny? Who do you think comes out on top
I
today.
picked the Bucks, but that was out of my heart. My head says the Saints all day.
Yeah, I had to battle back and forth on this because, again, I'm not impressed so far with New Orleans. They should be a better offense than they are, and they're really not.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but again, at the same time,
they seem like they're the Colts. The Colts keep winning those ugly games and shit, and that's what the Saints are doing, man.
Yeah, and by the way, Anthony Richardson for the Colts is back today, so that's a big. He's so far he's done pretty good for the Colts in the 2 games he's played. So, and Watson, you mentioned it, he's out today, the shoulder injury for the Browns against the Ravens defense. Even though the Ravens are half their team's injured, I like the Ravens in this game.
I do now.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know this Dorian Thompson, man. I never watched him. I don't know nothing about him playing in the NFL.
True.
I didn't see him preseason at all.
I think I saw a couple plays of him, not bad, but again, preseason you can't tell. Yeah, I just had a feeling the Ravens were going to win this one today. So, did you pick the Browns already, or?
Yeah, we picked on Thursdays, remember?
Right. Oh, yeah. No, I was just because I couldn't remember which game you picked.
Oh, who did I pick? I think I did pick the Browns because they have the number 1 defense in the league, and it's
right.
The number 1 defense by a long ways.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I got the Browns in this game.
It's too bad that the Dolphins and Bills play at the same time as the Bucs Saints, because that was like the best game of the week.
Well, I'll be on Red Zone anyway, so.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't never get any of those games live. 23-7, Jags.
I'm not surprised. Atlanta offensively.
What'd you think of that? Did you see the Disney Plus thing?
No, I did not. I
put up a little video of it, man.
Okay, I'll check it out.
YouTube.
Okay, I'll check it out in a little bit. Yeah, Atlanta, other than Algier and Robinson, they just don't have any. In London, they do have playmakers. They just don't have a quarterback. Bottom line.
Yeah, this might be his last week, man.
Who they play? They think they play Houston next week. That's not an easy game. Houston's defense.
Oh, they were talking about it during the game.
Oh, were they?
Rich Eisen and them guys were talking about it, that this might be his last game because they gave him kind of like an ultimatum,
Mm-hmm.
Get your crap together, kind of like they did. The Jets did. You heard that one too, didn't you?
Oh yeah, with Wilson. Yeah, well,
the ownership told him, this is it, man. You got to play faster, dude.
This is going to be ugly tonight. I just got to. I think this will be Zach Wilson's last start. I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled him out of the game early if it gets bad, and put in Tim Doyle or something like that. Or no, who'd they sign? Simeon? Was it Trevor Simeon?
Simeon, yeah.
So, oh God, this is going to be.
We've seen that guy everywhere, man.
Yeah, he's becoming Josh Johnson. Not as good, but
right.
Yeah. What other games stand out for you today? We'll talk about this before we wrap up. Is there any other games that stick out to you besides the Dolphins Bills?
The Colts game.
Yeah, the Rams, yeah.
And I think the Vikings game might stand out a little bit.
Oh, I got the Vikings dominating today. Carolina.
I got the Vikings in that one too, but there's the Vikings have. I see a lot of run game. The Vikings are going to go to a run game a lot this week.
Okay.
They're going to. I think it's Cam. Who is it? Cam Akers is starting. Was it the Vikings?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, he's starting today. So.
Oh, it's a nice change up. With Madison as well, he could be the backup. They could both use it like a 2-back set.
Well, Madison's been having slippery hands, so they want to see if Cam Akers has better hands.
True. But I still think they'll throw Madison in there for a few plays.
Oh yeah, they will.
Majority of the carries for Minnesota Cam against Carolina.
That's what the Buccaneers have got to do if they're going to get a running game. They've got. I know they're stubborn, man. Like last year, going all season with all the injuries on offensive line and not going out and getting anybody to really set up in there.
Yeah.
they really need to go. Hey, Lenny's still on free agency market, dude.
Hey.
And if you don't want Lenny back, there's a whole list of people right there on the free agency market and running back. They need to break down and work something out.
Yeah, I think if Johnny, and we got the bye week coming up, if the Bucks don't run the ball well today, hey, you got the bye week. Maybe you give them a call. Maybe you say, you know what, hey, do you mind coming in for the last 13 games?
And I don't need to hear about cap issues either because Gerald and Michael both took the Bucks today in this game.
Okay.
I understand Gerald taking it, but Michael never takes the Bucks, man.
Well, it's a winnable game, Johnny. I mean, this could go either way. So it's not like I'm picking the Saints just because they're a better team. I just think some issues with the secondary and the lack of a run game, it gives me a little.
I feel like we can sweep them again this year. It's just that running game, man. And now with our injuries to the secondary, that's what made me worry. Because when I took the Bucks, I was picking with my heart, but still I was confident in that pick at the time. But then in the secondary, it's just devastated, dude. Even if what's his name, Davis is playing, he's still injured. He'd still be playing hurt.
Yeah, that turf toe. Yeah, and that's a killer, man. Turf toe.
You've seen it in people's careers before, man.
Yeah. So and they're going to test him. I mean,
that'll be the first person they throw to, well, except for the rookies. But I am excited to see Isaac. Isaac has, oh my God, man! He's the size and his speed. You don't get that kind of combination all the time, man. They're not going to run away from him. You know what I mean? And he can go out. He'll take the 50-50 balls too because he's just as big as they are.
Right, and then that's what we need today. If we can get that, man, just not even picks, but even knockdowns. Just Thomas not being able to get open or Olave, that's a win. That's a win for the secondary. So yeah, I'm very excited about this game. Again, it's a division game. There is going to be some tension, no doubt about it. I know there'll probably be some, words with Lattimore, but Mike just has to play his game, get the catches, outman him, and Baker finds him open, just make the catches. And that should be it.
I love the rivalry, man. I've always missed a good rivalry in the South, and that Lattimore Evans thing makes this a rivalry. That makes it that much more exciting for me. Most people outside the Buck fandom, people watch just for that rivalry.
Yeah, that's true. Alec, thanks for tuning in, man. How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Yeah, so you picked the Bucks today. I got the Saints. I'm going probably low scoring. I'd say this would be about a 20-17 type of game.
It's never usually a big scoring game between these two at all, anyway.
Yeah,
I just hope our defense can hold up. Our defense has got me worried, man. And it's not even the play calling; it's just the personnel. We just don't have without Cansey in there, and our secondary's beat up. Winfield can't do everything by himself.
Right.
I mean, we got Winfield and LBD, and then whatever we get out of Devin White during the game,
Yeah. Christopher Cole, thanks for tuning in, man. Watching on YouTube. How you doing today, sir? Go Bucks.
Who's playing in that nickel position in the cornerback? Is that
Isaiah. It should be Isaiah.
Is it?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
I haven't got no complaints about him yet.
No, he's had a couple turnovers, man. I love it. He's been great for our defense. He's come in really good, Johnny.
What's his damn name? The guy that's right behind
McCollum? You're talking about
no, not McCollum, the other one. He's been on the team a while.
Oh, Delaney.
Yeah, Delaney. Mm-hmm. Delaney seems to have picked up his game too.
Yeah, he had an interception last week. A very good interception.
Well, I mean, he used to be all or nothing. You know what I mean? But now he's playing more solid. He's sticking with his guys a little bit better. He's not just all out for the interception, and then if you don't get the interception, you just get burnt. That's how he used to be.
Yeah, I think comes with experience, though, too, Johnny. I think he's picking up the playbook better. It takes time. Maybe for some of these guys, it might take a little time to learn how to play in the NFL, you know, that position in the NFL specifically. So,
I wonder
so
if
far,
Winfield knew how much into the fire he was going to be when he got assigned here, man.
well, Winfield,
He has been in the fire ever since he's been on the team, right? Going up against the Cheetah, going up against all the heavy hitters, man.
But Winfield is a great player, man. You know, you knew you were going to get some greatness out of him. He just needs to stay healthy. That's the only key. I mean,
that's the key to every team, man.
True, but I mean, with his talent, I mean, everything's been there. But you know, playing every game, you know, he just needs to stay healthy, and that's it. So, yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up because it's almost game time in about 15 minutes. So, any final thoughts, Johnny, or got anything more to say?
No, just fingers crossed all day long.
Fingers crossed. All right, so everybody, enjoy your NFL Sunday. I'm gonna get the game thread up for the Bucks and Saints. Put that up in a few minutes. See what happens today. Let's go Bucks. Have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next time on Let's Buck with Ben. Have a good day, everyone.
Later, bud.
Later.